Hey, what do you got on your head there? What is that? What's on your head there? That's what kind of cap is that? It's a coonskin cap. Who wears a coonskin cap? It's morning, and he's eating some dry Cheerios. And because I don't know if we have any milk out there. I think our raw milk is gone from our neighbor's cow. And he's wearing his Davy Crockett coonskin cap because we've been watching the old Fess Parker Disney Davy Crockett episodes from the 1950s. And the kids are all about Davy Crockett right now. So right here is our first chapter of our book that we're writing. Getting ready to send off a proposal out to our publisher. Pretty cool. Jamie worked really hard on that, and so that is about finished with some final edits. Anyway, that's coming up. You'll have to stay tuned for more information on that, but it's really exciting. Anyway, there's the Coyote gun sitting in the corner. Haven't got a Coyote yet, but still working on it, and I think I have some of my calls up here. There is one there. I really like this one, although it hasn't worked for me yet, other than to call in lots of different crows. The crows swarm me when I hit this thing, until they find out, that it's me calling, and they fly away. But this is made by Carver Calls. We'll do a video on this. It's a 220 Swift round inside there. Sounds amazing. Rabbit distress call. But we'll do a video on that some more coming up. Anyway, I'm getting ready to head out to the garden this morning, work on spreading out some mulch and some cardboard. So we'll take you out there and I'll show you what I'm doing. Just a real quick addition. I got this letter from Jason the other day after we did that video on the ghost pepper, and he wanted to send me some Carolina Reaper and Trinidad Moruga Scorpion pepper, chili pepper seeds, and he did. Really cool. Thanks, Jason. And he sent me some other things too. You have the Carolina Reaper here, you have the Trinidad Moruga Scorpion here, and you have one here called Peri Peri. It's a chili pepper, and Sugar Rush Peach chili pepper, and then you have a Cheerio Roxa. I've never heard of that. I never heard of any of these three, actually. Different chili peppers. And he says, folks, if you're interested in this, that right now, currently, it's the Carolina Reaper that is the hottest pepper in the world, holds the title for the hottest pepper in the world. We'll try to grow this year on the homestead, along with the Trinidad Moruga Scorpion, which is the second hottest pepper in the world. The ghost pepper, which we're already growing, is the third. So we're going to grow those this year. And Jason has an Etsy store, and I'll post that on the screen so you can check that out. And if you want to order some seeds from him, you can do that. But thanks, Jason, for sending me those, and really appreciate it. We're going to get these sprouted and in the garden this year. We're going to have a hot pepper section of the garden this year. So if you're interested, there's the Etsy store. You can go to it and order seeds for yourself. And while I'm in the kitchen, here is our latest batch of smoked salt. This is hickory smoked salt. And you can see the jars we're using are a little different than what we've used in the past. These nice, very nice, attractive jars, very heavy-duty glass jars. We still need to put the labels on top of these, but we chose these jars because the people we were getting, our suppliers, we were getting the smoked salt jars before, they discontinued those jars, stopped selling them, and so we couldn't get them anymore. And so, like, what are we going to do? Because as fast as we make this stuff, it sells out. People love the smoked salt. And so we found some more 5-ounce jars. They're a little more heavy duty, but they're very attractive. They're very reusable. See, the thing is, we want to find jars that we can sell to people, for this stuff, and they can take the jar, and once it's all gone, they can either refill it with something. I mean, they can reuse it. They can refill it with something else. So these jars are very attractive, very practical, very useful in the kitchen, and so there they are, and these are the new smoked salt. This is a hickory smoked salt. We've done hickory, plum, persimmon, maple in the past, and these are hickory, and they'll be on the website here shortly. I still have to put the labels on them and get them ready to go. And then hopefully at some point we're going to try sassafras, because we have a bunch of sassafras trees, and we're going to dig up some of those trees and burn the roots to give a nice sassafras root beer flavor. on some smoked salt, and I hear that it's really good. So we're going to try that at some point. But after this batch, we're going to do some more maple. So if you really like the maple, we'll have some more in stock for that. If you've never tried the hickory, this will be in stock for that. So it'll be up on the website soon. But there's the new jars we had to do. It's going to increase the price a little bit because it's heavier and the shipping's more expensive. But I don't think we'll have a problem selling it out. These things go as quick as we make them. People love the smoked salt. Hey, by the truck over here, and I'm getting ready to work on the garden. Have some stuff piled up over here. I'm unloading it, so I thought I'd sit down and talk about, how do you invest in your homestead? It's tax time right now. A lot of you guys are probably getting your tax money back, and that's a cool thing. You're all excited about how you're going to spend it. I get a lot of emails. People ask me, say, hey, Zach, where'd you get all this money at? Because you're driving this, you got this tractor, you got the solar panels, you got this truck, four-wheel drive truck. Where are you getting all your money? And I have to ask, because it's this time of year when I hear all these people, I see these people saying, oh, I'm going to go out and buy that new big screen TV, or I'm going to go buy this, or I'm going to buy that. And they're buying toys with their tax return money. And you could be reinvesting that in your homestead, or at least in your future plans of a homestead. And so I'm here by the tire to show you that, these tires are about done. They're a 10-ply mud tire. And out here, you at least need a 10-ply AT or a mud tire, out here on these roads, these hard roads. And so by reinvesting that in my truck and my tires, I'm going to continue to allow this truck to be used for this homestead. I'm putting my money back into the homestead. I'm reinvesting it back in the homestead so the homestead can continue to operate and we can continue to benefit, from what we, how we work on this homestead. I'm going to be sharing with the patrons on Patreon some additional ways that we're going to be reinvesting in the homestead. A lot of that is because of them, and so thank you for that. So we're going to give you some more details probably coming up this week or next week on how we are reinvesting their support into the homestead, and how it's going to continue to allow us to make more videos, better videos, and even some major equipment upgrades on the homestead itself. So, that's because of tax money coming in. It's because of patron support. We can do that because of our patron support. But instead of buying your toys, because I know a lot of people have lots of toys and hobbies they like to invest in, you ask yourself, if you want to live this lifestyle, is taking that money, it could not just be tax money, but it could be like, hey, I just got a raise at my job. Awesome. I just got a deal came through, a new contract got signed, or whatever business you're doing, and you're coming into some money, maybe an inheritance or something. What are you doing with that money? You're going to go out and buy a boat? Are you going to go out and buy something that's going to further your hobby? Or if you really want this lifestyle, are you going to reinvest that money into getting down towards your goals further, towards that lifestyle, that homesteading lifestyle, and furthering your skill sets? So that's what we're doing. We're reinvesting instead of toys, instead of frivolous things that are just, it's the way America is today. It's all about, merchandise and consumerism, and it's crazy. I don't want to be that guy. I want to invest in tools. I want to invest in trade. I want to invest in skills, things like that. And so that's what we're doing for this homestead. I'm going to be getting some new tires here this afternoon. Got to go into town to get them. I think there's some hand-cook 10-ply mud tires. That's what I have to go get. I ordered them yesterday. They weren't going to be here till like 3 in the afternoon today. So maybe I'll bring you along with you to show you. So that's what I got to get today. But, we're reinvesting that money. Think about that. Think about how you're going to take that money, that tax money, that new job raise, whatever inheritance or something. Everyone comes into money sometimes in their life, and you got to use wise decision making to use that money to help further your family, and use that money in a way that it'll actually produce more money for you in the future. Now I think I'll head over and get all this mud washed off my truck. Wow, there is like a line for all the bays are filled, and there's like a line getting in here. So I think this guy's almost done. I'm gonna head in here. Wow, those people I think I've seen, there's people lined up to get into the car wash. That's much better. Okay, now we can go home. So we're out here in the garden today, again. And today I'm putting down this straw, some more straw, wheat straw. And I'm doing it in all kinds of places, trying to get the garden ready for spring. I mean, spring's almost here. And so I'm back out in the garden, I'm putting down the cardboard. And see, putting down this cardboard really does three things. And that's kind of what I'll just talk about it here today. You can see I did it all down that way. And here's our blackberry patch. These are our thornless blackberries, a variety that we grow here. And this does three amazing things. So first off, what it does is it makes it very easy to go through here and pick your berries because the weeds are kept down. And so it just gives a nice environment to go through and pick your berries. It's just a pleasing environment, easy environment to go through and easily just pick your berries during the time of the season when they're producing and you want to harvest them. The second thing it does is that this stuff keeps the weeds down. It gives just a pleasing appearance. You know, it makes it easy to pick, but it also gives a pleasing appearance, you know, to your garden. And, you know, for me, guys, that's one of the biggest things about having a garden is just having that pleasing appearance. I want my garden to look like a garden and to enjoy being in it. I want to enjoy being out here and looking at the things that are growing, being able to pick them and eat them off the vine in many cases, or off of the whatever plant that it's growing on, and just enjoy the garden as a whole and enjoy the whole experience. And so when you have that weed-free experience, it lends to that just calming sense of being out in your garden. And the third thing it does is by putting all this down, the cardboard down and the wheat straw down, it enhances the soil. You're putting tons of nitrogen down. Look at all that nitrogen. It's going to turn into nitrogen and feed future plants in future years. You're just adding to the amazing growability of the soil, if I can. You're adding to the microbiology that's in the ground, all those amazing bacteria and funguses that are growing. You're just giving them more life that they can continue to do what they do best, and that's grow you food. So one of the other things that's an added benefit to doing this, if you want to do it, and we've done it this year, we're starting this year in a number of places because all this stuff is, you know, put down with cardboard and wood chips and wheat straw, is if you want to, you can start something like wine cap mushrooms and put wine cap mushrooms down into the cardboard, like underneath the cardboard or on top of the cardboard before you put down your wheat straw and your wood chips. And what that's going to do, that mycelium, those mushroom mycelium, excuse me, that you put down there is going to spread out like wildfire. When the moisture hits, when the spring rains come and the fall rains come, it's going to spread up. And what you'll have, because this is all weed-free, right? As you're walking through it, as you're walking through that garden too this year, you'll see little wine cap mushrooms coming up that you can harvest, and they'll come up. And you can, and as long as you keep putting down wheat straw and more wood chips every year, it'll keep coming back. It'll continue to propagate itself. And that's a free food source. So when you put that cardboard down, that mycelium loves the corrugated curves in that cardboard and sends its mycelium roots all throughout it. And the worms come in and they help spread it. And the wheat straw really helps grow and gives it the material it needs to grow that mycelium, and the wood chips also. So that's an option for you. When you do something like this, it gives a pleasing appearance, makes it very easy to pick, adds nitrogen and good compostable materials for your soil for future use. And if you want to, as a bonus, really a fourth thing, is to grow mushrooms in all of this. It works amazingly well. There's plenty of YouTube videos of people out there doing it, and they're having great success, and we're going to try that also this year. So let me go and show you something else. Wow, I actually got the camera to focus this time. So this is our peach tree, and the blooms are in. It's March 1st today. And these things are all, I mean, the whole tree is in bloom. I called the peach picking place that we went to last year to get all of our peaches that you saw the videos on in the 3rd season of an American Homestead. And they said that their orchard is in full bloom right now. And I was asked them if they're worried about that because, you know, March is still a time where we get a lot of frost, we get a lot of cold weather. And they said they have had years in the past where they have been in full bloom in February, and even with some frost that come through, they had a pretty good harvest. So I don't think they're worried. They're too worried about it. We're definitely at a higher elevation here, but the really thing that's making me not worry about this a whole lot is this is a young tree. We're going to pick the fruit off anyway this year. and throw it to the ground when the blooms start to, when the fruit comes on. It produced fruit last year. We picked it all off because we really want to right now concentrate on growing this tree, giving it some size, and getting the roots down deep and strong, and pruning this in a way that it's going to grow in a way that we can use this for future, have it be a really good producer for us, in the future, this tree. And so that takes time. It takes time to shape the tree, to have it grow in the way you want it to prune the branches off so that it basically cups like a bowl. And so let me move my hand here. You can see I've kind of done that. I have a branch going off here, even though it's kind of going straight up, it's kind of curving. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but this one's going way out here. But I don't want a bunch of fruit on this part yet because, that could break. There was another shoot going off a little ways, and it did break last year, even with no fruit on it. But I can still shape this over the next few years, and before I really get a lot of fruit on it, so that when I do start to harvest the fruit, it's a very strong tree, it's a very thick tree. And by going out to that peach picking place and seeing their trees and how short they were and how they manicured them, it gave me some really good tips on, and some really good education on growing my own fruit trees and shaping them the way I want them to be. See, I don't want them to go much higher than that. So every year I'm just going to keep cutting them off, just like the peach place did that we went to go pick from. Their trees were not very high at all, and they did a great job of pruning those back. So we're going to keep doing that. So I'm out here outside the garden looking in, and I haven't decided yet where I'm going to plant my cotton seeds. We talked about that on the podcast Saturday night, and I haven't decided where I'm going to do that at yet. I thought maybe along this fence row here or something. I got corn coming up. It's going to be coming up there. So I'm not sure exactly where yet I'm going to be putting this. I still have a lot more straw and hay and some cardboard to get down around here, but everything else is pretty much done. So I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to plant that cotton. I haven't figured it out yet, but I do know, man, it was really encouraging to see all of the people selling. There's a lot of people out there selling it for decoration online. They're getting a lot of money off of it. So really excellent income choice. Additional income choice for the homestead to grow cotton and sell it as decorations online. I think we can do that. And there's lots of ideas. I mentioned the whole popcorn, the Indian popcorn. People make a lot of money, selling that. So I'm not going to grow that this year, but I am going to grow some corn. And I'm going to use some heavy nitrogen from the chickens along here. I'm going to grow the cotton this year. I'm going to grow the tobacco for the sheep. So different items we're starting this year. Every year is an experiment, folks. So you work it every year, you experiment, try something new, and see what comes up. And sometimes you fail, sometimes you succeed, and you learn. That's the whole bottom line, you learn. So, hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, check out this list of amazing folks. These are our patrons. We're really appreciative of them. They are the executive producers of our show. If you're interested in more information, you can go to patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead and see all the benefits. And folks, check out these videos on the left. We'll see you next time on American Homestead.